Okay guys, welcome back. So what actually happens when there's friction between the bottom object and the surface? Alright, let's find out. It's another example. So we have an object like this. Right? So this is the system I'm talking about. So the mass of this object I'll take as 5, so weight will be 5g. You can directly downwards. Mass of this object is 10 kilograms and its weight will be 10g. That is also acting directly downwards, right? So I'll take this object as A, this object as B, right? So the normal force of acting on A will be Ra. So this is Ra. Normal force acting on B will be Rb. So this is Rb. I'll assume that there is no friction between A and B, and there is only friction between B and the surface. So I'll take the frictional coefficient of friction to be 0.2 for change. I'll be using 0.25 for all the videos. So I'll be using 0.2. So if there is only force between the bottom object and the floor, the total force on this system, the total frictional force, now if I apply a force of say 20 newtons, right? 20 newtons here, right? So if I am moving in this direction, if I apply a force in this direction, the frictional force will be on the other direction, right? So as to oppose this motion, so this will be here. I'll use only Ff because there is only one friction force. There is no friction between the top and the bottom object. Alright, so we have to find the frictional force and then decide what happens to these objects. Alright, so we can find for B, we can put Ff equals mu r. Ff equals mu r. So mu is 0.2, as we given, 0.2, and r is, now r we have to find r, sorry. We can find r, right? Rb, we can put F equals ma upwards. We can put F equals ma upwards. So it will be Rb minus, now it's not 10g, as I told you in the last videos, it's not 10g, it will be the total of these two forces. It will be 15g because 5g is already acting on this object and 10g is due to its weight, so the total downward force will be not 10g, it will be 15g. And assuming that there is no acceleration in the vertical direction, ma will be 0. So if I assume g equals 10, Rb will equal to 150 newton. Rb equals 150 newtons. Alright. So here R is equal to 150, so this is Rb, right? 150. So it will be 150 times 0.2 is 150 times 1 upon 1/5 of 150, which is equal to 30 newtons. Ff is equal to 30 newtons. So for A, if I consider A, there is no force acting on A, right? So A will be stationary, right? If I consider B, the total force in this direction is 20 newtons, and the total force in this direction is 30 newtons. So the total applied force is less than the total frictional force, so B will also be at station. So the acceleration of both these objects is 0. So that's an example in which the total the applied force is on the second object and there is no friction between the two surfaces, between the two objects, but there is friction between the bottom object and the surface. So in the next video I'll meet you with a new concept, that's also friction. So that will be the final video on the videos on friction. So what happens when the frictional force can be applied force can take this object in a certain direction. See you then.